Hey everybody, I'm Russo, and I do a little work here and there. This is Ramble and Watch. And wouldn't you know it, we're doing another thing that I'm pretty sure wasn't on the schedule, but it's sort of halfway to something that was on the schedule. So you know what? I'm going to give myself a pass. Because hey, look at that. It sure does seem like there are minis running around on this Blood Bowl pitch. Or, one mini. Just look around, yeah, they're there a couple more times. And aside from needing cleaned up just a little bit, I think it's looking pretty good. Of course, this isn't really done, but really it's more of phase 1. As you will see as soon as the camera spins around. And yeah, no change. A change. But it might not be the one that you were expecting. Of course, now, as you may be expecting, clicking on one of these guys and making them walk anywhere also fails to change the facing. Sad face, right? But no, not right. For without this, we could not do that. So real quickly, we'll go back to the event graph view so we can see exactly what is going on. Here at the top, I've got the 4 things that currently are making all of this possible. Unit interface, as again you might have guessed, is an interface class blueprint, and all it has in it is a single function move character to, which stores a location as a vector. Pretty simple. AI Controller 01 is, predictably, an AI controller which implements unit interface to do a simple move to location. Easy peasy. Then, our camera main, which interestingly enough is a character, casts to 2D Mini using the AI controller and unit interface's move character 2. The actual casting to AI Controller 01 is done inside of 2D Mini, and it's basically what you would expect. But since I'm using flipbooks, I need very specifically the flipbooks to be at the opposite rotation of the camera, which is sort of it's a deal. But as a deal, it's easy enough to deal with. You just get the camera rotation, add 180, in this case to the yaw, I never know which one of those is which. And then I set world rotation of the sphere component, because I want the capsule component for, later steps, to maintain its facing. So yeah, all this, not too bad. There are a few weird effects, which I guess if we go back to the game view, we can observe more or less. So yeah, when a miniature is centered on the screen and the camera is rotated for some extended period of time especially, you can see that the mini just lifts up a little bit. Or at least it looks like it's just lifting up on one side, which I assume is something to do with camera lag, but right now it's not really, it doesn't really bother me. I kind of think it's funny. It sort of looks like you grabbed the entire table and spun it, and the minis are just trying to hold on. I mean, check it out. Whoa! I mean, you see something like that, it's just a weird timing issue, and I could spend days trying to make it look right, but, like I said, the way it looks, it's funny. It's funny. It's like a joke. It's like it's funny. Anyway, the real deal from here is trying to get the picture that's displayed to be the one that it should be. And in all, I don't think it's going to be too complicated a thing to set up. It's just going to be, a lot of things to set up. So if we go back to the 2D Mini blueprint, and in particular the part that keeps the flipbook facing with the opposite direction, I want to say at the camera, but the opposite direction that the camera is facing, then you will see we are polling the camera's rotation. So the basic idea is that we take the camera's facing to the world, and the miniature's capsule components facing to the world, which we can also poll, and then we do a little math. Right now it's making it so that the sphere and thus the spring arm and thus the flip book are always at a 180 degree relative rotation to the camera. And that works fine if, again, our miniature is either walking in the direction of the camera or I guess backing away from the camera. But now we're going to have to cover the rest of our bases. So I'm sure you can imagine how this will work. I'm still doing some research because I'm fairly certain I could make this look like like a big tree. It would be a lot of nodes because the way I'm doing things, there are 16 pictures and thus 16 facings, I guess you'd say, for each miniature. So I have to do these sorts of 22.5 degree divisions as the camera rotates. And I can look and I can see which numbers each of these things are actually hitting, but because they're not You know, they can be positive or negative, and there's only one of them 180 degrees where it being absolute would really tell you anything. So yeah, I'm thinking a lot of checks, maybe a lot of clamping, is that the right term? I don't know. Like I said, I am not a game designer, well, not a video game designer at the very least. So yeah, overall, not extremely difficult, just time consuming as always. You gotta put the thing together, you gotta hope that it works, at least mostly right, and in the end, yeah, maybe you get something kinda neat. So what's left? Not a whole lot. So how about if anyone can point me to a tutorial or maybe a sample project where there is a camera set up that's sort of like this, and in particular one that uses the paper 2D sprites, that would be super helpful. But if you can't, or if you just don't, I will understand. And you know what? I won't even care. Because right now, this is my favorite video game, Unreal Engine 4. It's like a puzzle game. I know exactly what I need this stuff to do, but it's like there's a steep learning curve. And the whole thing is so obtuse. I mean, they've made it so very difficult things are very easy, and vice versa. I mean, try getting somebody to tell you how that interface thing works. And it doesn't help that nobody else is making the same kind of project as you, but I digress. I should really cut this off here. This Ramble and Watch was supposed to be about painting miniatures. And, you know, people are patient, but eventually they're going to get upset. They're going to start thinking that I forgot about them. But I didn't. It's coming up. But, you know, you paint the minis, you got to have somewhere to put them. And that's where this is. So, until next time, this has been Ramble and Watch on Russo Works, and I am Rousseau, out.